Hey guys, got Hiccup here, going to be working on some leading exercises, and we're going to start with come forward to a pull. It's a very important exercise. I find it's skipped a lot, and like anything, I want to be very strategic at the teaching. So I start from asking him to back up and change his mind to come forward. So you can see if I got resistance in the back up, I want to work through that. And then when he's soft in the back up, change and ask him to come forward. And I want to maintain that forward command on until he gives me speed. So the taps will aid you in that. So same thing here, I can just keep him next to that rail. And each time I feel he takes the contact, so contact is where the energy is. So when I give him that prep and I start pulling that slack real soft, but if he still hangs and drags on me, that's each time I build them taps longer. So this one I'm going longer. See, he's still hanging on me, so I don't release. I bring it around here longer and took him further that time. So he really had to get away from my hand, and I'm letting him lick and chew there. And then you watch this time, he comes nice without being tapped. Right, so that's kind of the end game for a second. So that's how you want to set up your patterns: is release for speed, release for more speed, release for even longer and more speed, and then you should get the honey just like we did here, and then you can kind of quit on it. So that's the end of that exercise. Now I'm going to go into teaching him where I want him to be, that I've got that tool on him. So it's just a matter of walking forward. I want to teach him to stay behind me. This also will help him not pass my shoulder. So I'm teaching him, if I've got a group of 3 or 4 horses that I'm leading at the same time, they follow me. If I stop, they stop. If I turn, they turn with me. And it teaches him where to be. So because I have move off the hand, this exercise is now real easy to establish with him. You can see him start moving right away. And same thing applies. If I find he's late and I need to motivate him more, I'll just push him longer, right? Just give a little more push on him so I get some more speed out of him. So he's picking up what I'm laying down here pretty good. So right here is what I mean about he just tried to cheat his way out of that. He didn't stay behind me, so I let him get way wrong, so he had a long ways to catch up. So I didn't fix him instantly. I let him really be wrong so that I can make the correction longer. And you'll see how that's going to be real effective. I'm going to do it another time right here. So see how I back way out here. He's got a long ways to go to catch up to me, and I even keep turning so he has to get around there. And then I'll try it again, start turning, and make him even get back there a little more. So everything kind of follows that same pattern. That each time I correct him for the same thing, I want to add a little bit of a workload to it. So and then give him time. Like you'll see when it really makes sense, you'll start knowing in your patterns when it's time to let him there. See, he really responded nice to that. So it's a softer push, and then I'm just making him follow through with getting over there. So this stops all of that business of them stepping on your heels and stuff when you make a corner. You should be able to turn left or right and have your horse really get behind you and yield to you when you're going through gates. It's real handy to have that tool on them versus just going through the gate and cutting the corner, sticking their head over top of your head and crowding you and walking all over you. It also really helps him pay attention when he's watching. He's really aware of not only the speed that I'm going, but the direction I'm going. He waits for a stop. These kind of things, when you put these tools on him, I find if something ever was to spook him, he's coming over me is not even in his thought process. Like he doesn't even think about it. And it doesn't matter who the handler is. If they have these lessons on their horse, that's an automatic response, because once we're just going through these steps to do the teaching, but once that teaching is solid, we check it every day, and it's solid on him. So if something happens, a big lightning crack hit behind him or whatever, he might jump, but he's not going to go over me or even bump into me, right? And that's all part of the safety process. But it also helps for all kinds of things. This lead forward is really going to help in loading in a trailer, crossing obstacles that he's afraid of. And then I just look for it quit there when I can ask him to ground tie, and just correct him there a little bit, and then I'll move on here and go to another video.